All right, Mr. Dababneh, you need to make this quick because we're going to lose members.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Madam Chair, members of the committee, today I bring forward AB 1358. It's a straightforward bill to authorize and extend design build authority for school districts on projects over $1 million until 2025. This delivery method leads to an accelerated project completion, cost containment, reduction of construction complexity, and a reduced risk of cost overruns for school districts. As you'll remember, last year with bipartisan support in both houses of the legislature, a bill passed by Senator Loswell, SB 785, which overhauled the design build process for the state and local agencies. This bill is directly modeled on the Wolk legislation and applies provisions similar to SB 785 to school districts. It is important to note that this bill does not require school districts to utilize design build, nor does it touch traditional design build bid processes, and makes changes only to the requirements for contractors to pre-qualify for design build contracts. Among the requirements for pre-qualification is a commitment at both the contract and subcontract levels to utilize a highly skilled and trained workforce for apprenticeable occupations. This is critical to ensure that schools are built to the highest quality standards and that we are incentivizing the training of the next generation of highly skilled workers that our children go to school in the safest public school buildings because of it. I have today with me Cesar Diaz of the State Building and Construction Trade Councils, and he'd be happy to answer questions along with me. And I appreciate your time. I'm sorry for being late.
Thank you very much. Quickly, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Member Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council. For the reasons already mentioned by the Assembly member, we support this bill. It brings uniformity to the design build statutes. They're basically the mirror what is in 785. And also there's a pipeline component to ensure that we have California workers exiting high schools have access to these types of opportunities in employment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In support.
Madam Chair, members, my name is Brett Barrow with the California Legislative Council, the Plumbing, Heating, Piping Industry, the National Electrical Contractors Association, and the United Contractors Association. For the reasons stated before, we are in support of the bill, and we do support the provisions for a skilled workforce to provide that the properly trained folks are out there doing these types of jobs.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, Mitch Seaman with the California Labor Federation, also in strong support.
Okay.
Erica Hoffman on behalf of the California School Boards Association. We appreciate the author taking the amendment in the bill to extend the effective date for a year, as this will give LEAs the time necessary to properly implement the proposed changes. And with that amendment, we do remove our opposition to the measure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Any others in support of the bill? Is there opposition to the bill? Is support. Okay.
Madam Chair, remaining members, Sam Merlino, representing the California Field Iron Workers, Labor Management, and Cooperative Trust in support of the bill.
Great. Thank you very much. Others in support of the bill? Opposition to the bill?
Good morning, good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. I'm Richard Markson. I'm representing the Western Electrical Contractors Association, the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors of California, the Air Conditioning Trade Association, Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego County. We are opposed, and we would caution the committee, the design build statute that was in the Wolk bill is brand new. And based upon that model, we're now changing design build for every public entity. And while I understand the stated intent of the sponsors that there should be a standard, we are imposing this new, basically untested design build process now on school districts that wish to utilize them. In addition to those concerns, there are two specific issues that we take exception to. One, we believe that every contractor, whether there's a project labor agreement in place or not, should demonstrate that they are committed to the skilled workforce requirements that is a key component of design build. As the analysis points out, there are a couple of exceptions in the case of a project labor agreement, and we disagree with that distinction. The other provision that we are opposed to is the safety language, and we have opposed this for at least the last 10 years. It takes a provision that was originally designed to deal with workers' compensation cases and somehow attributes it to having a safe workplace. And it is if you have in place, which is only available to union contractors, a means to resolve workers' compensation claims outside of litigation that this somehow equates to being a safe workplace. That is not the case. The statute was never designed to establish the qualifications for contractors to have a safe workplace, and is simply an escape clause for union contractors to have to demonstrate that they have a safe work record. We are opposed for those reasons.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senators, Julianne Broyles here on behalf of Associated Builders and Contractors of California. Certainly agree with the points that Mr. Marcuson brought up, but also would like to point out our concerns with the bill. First of all, we believe that AB 1358 is going to create and impose new and likely unnecessary restrictions that will limit the pool of contractors available to work on the school construction projects. The bill also reduces from $2.5 million to $1 million the size of the contracts affected by design build by school districts. We have a longstanding commitment in ABC California to providing skilled and trained workers. Our programs go through the exact same process that every other apprenticeship program here goes through, both union and non-union. We must meet the same standards, and we have the same graduation requirements. We are probably newer to the game, which is why the unionized contractors and the labor management apprenticeship programs believe having a new skilled workforce requirement as mandated in the bill will give them an advantage, because when they are larger and they graduate more apprentices than we do. But we graduate on a regular basis, and I'm very proud of the workers that we turned out into these areas. And we invite any and all of you to come and visit our programs during the graduation ceremony, and just to see how excited, how thrilled these workers and their families are to have this new trained, skilled worker there and available to work. I think what it really comes down to when you look at the impact of this bill is that you're limiting the workers that can go out by setting this journey level requirement percentage that's out in tiers, and will harm those very workers whose taxes help support those school districts and their children who attend those school districts. We think this is a bad idea and would ask for a no vote.
Thank you. Okay, any comments, concerns from members?
Madam Chair, I would move the bill.
Okay.
Can I just ask clarification?
Sure.
Were the amendments accepted?
I did accept them. Thank you for asking, Senator.
Would you like to close and address some of the concerns from the opposition?
I will tell you, it's just important to remember that this is really not a new bill. This is extending the new protections built into 785 last year in design build that Senator Wolk passed in a very bipartisan vote from this House and Assembly and signed by the governor. It's also important to note that this bill does not require school districts to utilize design build, nor does it touch traditional design build processes. It simply extends the option for our public school districts to use design build and makes changes to requirements for contractors to pre-qualify for design build contracts in those cases. And we heard a number of arguments that talked about making sure we're not limiting the workforce. I think this bill actually does the reverse of that. We're actually expanding the ability for the workforce to have an opportunity to build the public schools that are paid for by taxpayer dollars in a safe and secure manner, and also the cost savings. I heard earlier one of the opponents say that because their workers do not have the same ability to have mediation outside of the legal system for workers' compensation, that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. That'll save school districts money. That's more money that can go into building more facilities. So with that, I respectfully ask your aye vote to extend the same requirements that were passed in 785 to these school districts as an option to do design build. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the bill has been moved. Let's call the roll.
Do pass as amended to appropriations. Blue?
Aye.
Blue, aye. Runner? No. Runner, no. Block? Hancock? Leyva? Mendoza?
Aye.
Mendoza, aye.
Leyva, aye.
Leyva, aye. Monning?
Aye.
Monning, aye. Pan?
Aye.
Pan, aye. Vidak? Vidak, no.
5-2, the bill is out.
Thank you, and I apologize for my tardiness.
Sure. Okay, let's, I think there are a couple of bills that people need to add on to.
Yes.
Yes. So let's go back and, how far did we?
46.
146, okay. Assemblymember Garcia.
Do pass to appropriations. Chair voting aye. Runner? Block? Hancock, Leyva. Aye. Leyva, aye. That's 6-0.
6-0, that bill is out.
And then item 15.
Item
982.
15, AB 982, Eggman.
Do pass to Human Services. Chair voting aye. Runner?
Not voting.
Block, Hancock, Leyva. Aye. Leyva, aye. 6-0.
6-0, that bill is out.
And then 17.
And item 17, AB 1099, Olson.
Do pass as amended to appropriations. Chair voting aye. Vice Chair aye. Block, Hancock, Pan.
Okay, with 5-1, that bill is out.
And then 18.
And item 18, AB 1358.
Sorry, that's
It's
out.
already, okay, that bill is out. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, members. How many bills next week? 24. Okay, another fun day. The meeting's adjourned.